I'm going to show you how you can thoroughly clean the inside of your vehicle. You might want to do this because you have stains on the carpet or you just have some type of smell that you just can't get out of your car. Pretty simple process. Stick around, find out how I do it. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and hit that bell notification to be able to be notified of any new videos that are coming up. You're going to want to watch to the end, of course, just to be able to see some of the before and after photos, and let me tell you, it's a pretty drastic difference. You don't need much tools to do this job. You just need a simple socket or ratchet set in varying sizes depending on what type of make and model you have. You're going to have to unbolt the 4 sides of your bucket seats, and then your bench seat. You're also going to have to unbolt the seat and the benches. Depending on what type of car you have, if you have an SUV or a sedan or a coupe or a minivan, they're pretty much all going to be the same. For this 1999 Toyota 4Runner, all I needed was a 12mm and a 14mm socket to be able to unbolt the bucket seats and the bench seat in the back. So you see, obviously on most cars, this is one of the most problematic areas, is between the driver and passenger seat and the middle console. Once we get to about the middle of this video, you'll see when I take the bucket seat, passenger and the driver bucket seats out, you'll see how dirty it is between the console. I'm also just showing you a couple snapshots of how dirty it is under the back bench seat. We were not the first owner of this car, and the previous owner of this car had children, and there was a bunch of food left between these seats. Cleaned it up. I've taken care of this car pretty well. I vacuumed it out and try to keep it as clean as possible. Before you get started, you're going to want to designate an area on your grass, or if you have a garage or a concrete pad, you're going to want to designate some area to be able to put your bench and bucket seats and just various bolts and things. The first seat I'm going to take out is the back bench seat. I also have to remove the trunk rug, which after I remove it, there's also a piece of carpet attached to the back seat, which is kind of odd, but that's how Toyota designed it. And you also might have to remove some of the trim to be able to remove the carpet completely. Once you start removing things from your vehicle, you might come across things that might surprise you, like golf tees or sunflower seeds. I don't really like sunflower seeds, and I don't really golf, so I'm not really sure where that came from, obviously from the previous owner. Who knows what you could find? You might be able to find the source that's giving your car that odd smell. Now that spot that you set aside is starting to pile up and there's not much space left, you're going to want to organize some stuff, especially if you have some different size screws or bolts. You're not going to want to get them mixed up. Grab yourself a Sharpie or a pen and start organizing. Next up, we're going to actually remove the seats themselves. Again, it's as simple as the back of the seat, just a couple bolts, a ratchet, and a socket, and you're good to go. Next up, we have the passenger and driver seats. Your car might have some covers like this Toyota. Just simply pop off the covers, and the bolts that you need to remove will be located underneath. Those things were pretty dirty, so along with the seat belts, I put them in a bath of water and I let them dry. And take a look at all that nastiness coming down between the seat and the console. Who knows what you have in your car? You can see there's a bunch of chips, there's a pen, there's even a nail here. When you start cleaning the stuff up here, you want to be careful of these wire hookups connected to the bottom of your seats. You want to make sure that when you put everything back together, that your seats go back and forward and you can still recline. If you wanted to, you could always take a piece of electrical tape and wrap it around the connector edge. So now that everything's removed from your vehicle, you basically just got started. You're going to want to start to vacuum everything up and start to thoroughly clean the carpet. I found that a vacuum with a detachable unit is really easy to get into the cracks and crevices, and this Makita brand vacuum is actually real simple to use. I'll leave a link in the description of where you can get this vacuum. You also might want to clean up some of those bolt holes with those toothbrushes that you get from the dentist that you put in your bathroom cabinet and have been sitting there for a long time. You're also going to want to get yourself a bucket of warm water and use that toothbrush to start scrubbing off some of those areas where the food has fallen down. You also don't want to forget those parts that you removed from the vehicle. Go ahead and check out the sides of your vehicle seats that are adjacent to the console, and go ahead and get that toothbrush and warm water and start scrubbing some of that junk off the sides. You can also use that toothbrush to scrub some of those caps off. Also, at this time, you could probably take your seatbelt out and let it hang and dry. Once you have all the loose items vacuumed and scrubbed out of the car, you probably want to consider renting a shampooer. Now, I'm not going to show you how to use it here in this video. I'm going to leave a link in the description of a video that I did showing you how to set up a shampooer, adding the concentrated solution, and then also using the shampooer. Once you have everything shampooed and all the stains that you want gotten out of your carpet, it's probably a good idea to let it sit and dry out before you put all the seats back. So in order to do this, I purchased a space heater and I allowed it to sit in the car overnight with some of the windows open. If you wait overnight for the shampoo to dry, make sure you can find yourself a place indoors to put all your car seats at. After filling the carpets after a couple hours, I noticed that they were already dry, but I just, for good measure, gave myself about 12 to 18 hours of drying time in order to assure that all the carpets were completely dry. Now here we are on the next day, and you're going to see that the results are really quite amazing, with the carpet being completely dry and the soap that I used having a little bit of a scent to it. The car smells great and it also looks great. So we're ready to put the seats back in the car. But first off, I want to show you some before and after photos. Do you remember this spot right here? Well, here's what it looked like before I even vacuumed, and then after I vacuumed, and then here's after the shampoo. So you can tell it didn't completely eliminate the stain, but it definitely significantly reduced the shade of the stain. Here's another spot, here's the before photo, and then again here's the after photo. You can see the pretty amazing results. And here's the trunk rub. Here's the after picture, and then the before. We have a couple stains here where I had the coolant and the oil buckets, and then here's the after again. So hopefully this can inspire you to do some work in your own car. Hopefully it'd be pretty easy to take out the seats in your car and do the same job, do some shampooing, and make your car smell and look good again. Hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.